Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome to Jibber Jabber. I am your host, as always, Skadaramas, otherwise known as Tone Shift, and we have a really full house of people with us today. Well, let's just go through the list of people. First of all, we have Luminous Starlight.
Yee!
No, we are not a couple. Stop asking.
Bet.
It is amazing how many people make that fucking mistake. Hades, don't you start.
I'm older than he is.
By a lot.
I'm like 31.
I'm 22. Yeah, I wouldn't know. No, that'd be creepy.
I'm 20 now. If anyone's interested.
Congratulations.
No way.
Speaking
You're such a
of,
wee little map.
speaking of, next up we have the author of the Change series, which many of you will have noticed. The reading finally resumed here on YouTube, and a good friend and co-author on many ADCverse stories, Tom117Z. And he doesn't even introduce himself. Congratulations.
Yeah, sorry. Everything just went completely silent there
Yeah, well, I mean,
on my end. I couldn't hear what you're saying.
Awkward. Yeah. Next up, we have Darkness, the other British person sitting in the British corner where all the British people are at.
Hello, everyone. I hope they had a lovely day.
And next up, we have Hades Shadow 92, who's just kind of also here.
Here to eat your souls.
No,
The token
no,
zebra.
no, that's the next person who I'm introducing on the list. A certain paladin sitting in the background, staring into your soul.
Now you see, he just stares, I eat it.
Let's look at the soul.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do eat them now. That's right.
He will never blink.
Now, well, that ruined this whole speech I had, but carry on.
Next up, we have Crow.
Howdy.
Alright.
I just
He's
came.
extremely deep.
Still,
Voice.
God.
And
They
apparently,
call me the Dark One.
we also have Lightning Flash, although I didn't even realize he was in this voice chat because he's been utterly silent the whole time.
I was being respectful.
I see.
Yep.
But yes.
Lightning Flash.
But yes,
Silent Brit.
Yeah, but this is a slightly larger group than
Yeah,
usual. Usually we cap out at 6 or 7, but we have 8 people here this time. Again, kind of an unusual number. There's a reason for this, which is actually the very first topic in our list. But before we get to the pre-planned topics, how's everyone's week been?
Tiring.
Been good. I ticked over another year.
Busy?
And
Man.
A bit exhausting, but fantastic.
All right.
Poor Lumina's got a cold.
Got a
yeah, I've been
cold.
stuffed up.
Two of my bloody friends have a cold, actually, which is quite convenient.
Coincidental, I think you mean.
Coincidence?
Since
I
it
think
was
not.
Reference
Yeah.
Scott.
Very boring.
Same.
So we're a little short on specific topics today, but hopefully this first one will last us for a little while and give everyone else some time to sort of get their shit and thoughts together. So, topic 1, Final Fantasy FFd6 Recap. We finally got around to our session 3, so I'm just gonna take a little bit and recap what all we did this session. For those, and yeah, I know normally we play on Saturdays, but some scheduling issues caused us to play today before Jibber Jabber. It was kind of a short session.
His voice is going to be shit tomorrow. Don't expect a reading.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'm gonna probably be drinking tea when we're done here and not saying anything
I'm with
else
you
all day.
on this.
Anyways,
I need some.
so on topic. So the session opened up where the last one left off with the party sneaking into this cave system that had recently been dug underneath the city of Marasu to try and rescue a guard and bring him back to the clean parts of the city. They had managed to work their way a little deeper in, gotten through a guarded door after Rocket, imploded a dude's head with her leg. And
Wait, what?
Rocket, the group's chocobo, she crushed a dude's head with her mechanical leg because she's a cyborg.
Oh.
And a kick, and,
Oh, I knew
and a
she was
badass.
the last part of
Yeah. She kicked his head into the wall so hard it popped
Like a melon.
like a melon.
Oh, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And yet I want to snuggle her so much.
Anyways.
Not the head. Ah!
All right. So, following all of that, the session picked up with them being noticed by a cultist a bit further ahead. Jed, is that you? And when Thanatos tried and failed to mimic Jed's voice, they...
I don't do acting very well.
Yeah. Well, they fucked up this cultist and swiftly realized he had 2 more with him. But they didn't stand a chance. The party was swift, their attacks grand, and in just a couple rounds, the enemies were down and out.
I cut a guy's
I was
head off.
amazed on my first attack.
Oh, yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah. First attack of Alistair in the entire campaign, 3 sessions in. Natural critical hit. Really high damage, just one-shot at a guy.
I just like how the combat started. Yeah, he doesn't fall for that. I shoot him in the face.
I was gonna say, did you get him in the knee?
Got him in the gut was more accurate, but anyway.
Oh, I just feel sorry for him because he's probably going, well, maybe the worst is over. Maybe we might have a... Nope.
I'm about to say it was...
In comes Rocket. Yeah, Rocket kicked the dude into a fireplace.
Happy as can be.
Yep. Alistair smacked a guy with a staff and made him do a backflip and die on the wall. And Thanatos cut another guy's head off. So that was that group of cultists dealt with. They found some gil amongst all that.
I suddenly have a new headcanon about Rocket. Have you ever seen the pyro from TF2 and how he sees the world?
Do you believe in magic?
Yeah.
I felt like when she...
We need to get Rocket a flamethrower now.
I mean, she has rocket propellers under her wings. They're just out of commission right now.
We need to find an engineer and build
This is
a
blasphemy.
built-in flamethrower for her.
Oh God! Don't give me
Do
ideas.
you realize how dangerous it's going to be for her? Though?
This is
It's gonna be
blasphemy.
really
This is
painful.
madness.
Anyway,
This
so...
is
You're
fantasy.
effectively attaching a rocket to your gut.
Yeah. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so
Her name's already Rocket already.
And a brilliant headshot from our crossbow of the group, which
Yeah.
sent a guy down a well.
yeah.
And
Well,
never
well, I'll get to that. Let me go through the order of events first.
Okay.
So, following that, they continued to explore, encountering a few other groups of cultists along the way and taking them out with swiftness and gusto. They also began to discover cages filled with the bodies of people who had not survived the infection. Eventually, they found a hoard of supplies just kind of hanging out somewhere and got some stuff out of it. Thanatos ate a bowl of rice. They took out the remaining cultists and continued their search, and eventually they succeeded in locating the guard they were here to find. And he was kept in a cage in the back of the cave system, kind of sequestered in a hidden tunnel that was kept out of sight by a bunch of boxes. They managed to bust him out of the cage after a bit of effort. Rocket kicked it really hard. That didn't work, so Alistair broke the padlock, and that worked.
Happy to help.
Yeah, a bit deeper in the cave system, they discovered a large pool of liquid, which, as it so happens, turned out to be a bunch of water that presumably came from the sewers and was deeply, deeply infected. Alistair took a sample of it in an empty vial for study back at home base, and the group made their return. Upon
And
their
for extra caution, I cast a spell on
yourself.
healthy bubbles. Yep.
Well, the party eventually made it back. They returned the guard they had rescued to his post, and he went to spend some time with his family. Following that, the party was rewarded 150 gil per person for their efforts. helping to fend off an enemy attack, and bringing back a person who had been abducted while simultaneously destroying one of the cultist hideouts. They got some monies out of that and the much respect of the healthy population. Following that, they stopped by an apothecary to get themselves patched up, and that cost them a bit of money. And then they went to the local tavern again, the Whiskers Corner, where there Neothil decided to be bold and brave and had this drink called, it's nicknamed water. What it actually is it's an alcoholic beverage that is partially infused with special salts that can only be found in Piera Oasis, which is on the other side of the known world. Like, they're as far north as you can get. Piera Oasis is as far south as you can get. I gotta travel the whole fucking world to get there, and that's the only place where this beverage can be made. It's expensive. And the idea in Marasu is if you can manage to drink even just a shot of the stuff and not pass out, it's on the house. Neothil ordered a pint.
I mean, to be fair, she ordered a pint of the strongest ale he had, and he's like, well, I'll have this instead. So fuck it. Like,
Right.
like she would do drinks with her sisters, and this is not a new occurrence.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine who anyone who's heard the reading of Soaring on Little Wings know who a role model is based after.
Yeah. Anyway.
Rocket watched in wonder. As for me, I was facepalm.
Yeah, so Neothil took a swig. It touched her lips, touched her tongue, swam down her throat, and she passed out.
Yeah, it was very hard.
And then the Thanatos, being the smartass that he is, decided, let's see just how bad this is. He took a sip, and he's going to be unconscious for even longer because he rolled even shittier than he did on his force check.
Go
My luck is
Rangers!
terrible.
What is wrong with you
Stronger than the
crazy
Dark
people?
Knight.
Eh.
I was gonna
I
say,
ordered
let Chogo take a swig at
I
it.
know you want to have a good time, but that's really
Rocket's
taking
too
it far.
innocent for alcohol.
So yeah, with the general atmosphere of the inn around them being lighthearted because it was fucking hilarious to watch these two people just in rapid succession go down trying their damnedest to drink this most legendary of alcoholic beverages. We ended the session there a little earlier than normal, but you know, we have Jibber Jabber now, so we're doing that.
Yeah.
And additionally, the party is now all level 2. I'll probably be helping Tom with his level up when we're done here with Jibber Jabber.
Yep.
Now, funny story about that beverage, water. That has been a running joke in my D&D games, no matter the system, for a long time. If it's a fantasy setting, there is always an alcoholic beverage called water that even dwarves respect and fear, because it does that. It was first introduced by my dad in the very first family campaign we ever did when I was like 10. And yeah. My brother's character, a rogue named Darius, he just wanted some water, like just some well water, but they didn't have any of that shit. So they gave him the alcoholic version of water, and Darius, being the paranoid motherfucker he is, sniffed at it, and you know, smells slightly alcoholic. He took a swig of it, he passed out, and when he woke up about 30 minutes later, he had skipped being drunk and went straight to being hungover. It is so strong, you skip a part of the process.
I mean, assuming you're drunk, you're just unconscious.
Conclusion. I
I
think I'm going to pass out.
Oh, he didn't have time. He was just like, thud out.
It's going to help not to make a reference.
Yeah, and that shit stuck with us, all right? That shit stuck. It has shown up in every campaign I have run that happens to be in a fantasy setting where the group manages to stop by a bar. Every time, without fail, bar none. It is a tradition in my games to have water.
What is your poison, sir?
By the way, how much of that cup was drunk?
What was that, Lumina?
How much of that cup was drunk and how much was left?
Well, I mean, Neothil got a sip before she passed out, and it was a full pint, but it was about half empty when Thanatos grabbed it and he took his sip, and that's because a lot of it spilled out. Thanatos took his sip and fell over, and the rest is now on the floor needing to be cleaned up.
Shame, because like he definitely would have packaged it and sent it to our sisters.
Neophils. Ronnie and Skalala have already probably had some. They're rangers. They get around. They've probably been to the Oasis.
How to celebrate defeating a group of cultists and saving a person and gaining some sample of dirty water?
Get
passed out drunk.
Completely wasted
Best
and
kind.
passed out.
Get smashed. Get smashed.
One cringing and one wondering what's going on.
But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like Rania probably also passed out, but she'll claim she did it heroically.
Yeah, I passed out, but I did it awesomely. Right? Right? Come on. Y'all know it's true.
Everyone's just kind of looking away, scratching the backs of their heads.
Well, I did it awesome or you're
And of
fired.
course-
You did it awesome, ma'am.
Good.
and she has to say one final word before she passed out. I regret nothing.
No, I briefly
Of
woke
course you
up. Said I regret nothing. Just passed out.
And then you just made some drunk noises in your
Dead.
sleep.
Yes.
It was...
Sleep, fair maiden. Sleep it off, you'll be fine.
Yep, it was...
As for you, you're gonna have a headache in the morning.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
more.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, near the like I actually calculated how long they were going to be unconscious based on how far away from the difficulty target was. They needed to roll 15s on 2d6, so you know their dice can get up to 12, but they had bonuses to their roll because of their force attributes. Essentially, they would have needed to roll a critical success each to win it. They didn't. And I calculated how long they were going to be unconscious based on how far away the target was from what they actually rolled. For Neothil, she was only 5 off. She rolled a 10, so she's going to be out for 5 hours. Thanatos rolled a 7, so he's going to be out for 8. When
It was my nap.
Rangers are better.
when
We should
Neothil...
probably play pranks.
In drinking, perhaps, but how about combat?
When Neothil wakes up, it's going to be sunset. When Thanatos wakes up, the sun's going to be down.
Yeah, I'm just staying in bed.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, you already are.
I would say good morning, but it's nighttime, good sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, just going fuck back to sleep. My fucking head hurts.
Yeah, well, like that's pretty much what's gonna happen at the start of next session. You guys are gonna wake up hungover as shit.
I blame Nee.
You best hope we don't get an unwelcome surprise attack from the cultists, so you two are knocked out.
The only thing worse.
So if that happens, we'll be so fucking hungry. Like, who the fuck's making that noise? Just get our weapons out. Shut the fuck up. Just pull them all down.
No. You see, here's what happens. Thanatos is gonna try and draw his scythe, but the shing it makes it coming out is gonna be like, oh no, it's too loud. Never mind, keep on. Okay.
I don't have that issue.
No, here's what happened.
No, the sound of you firing the crossbow is gonna be too loud. So you get off one shot, like, oh no, fuck this. I'm going back to bed.
I'm just gonna throw fireballs. All the fireballs.
You only have you can throw like 2.
Don't throw a fireball, because you might shoot one at me.
Well, then don't get in the way.
I'm not in the way. You shot me right beside you. Fuck.
Just don't worry, guys. I got this.
My ass.
So you guys are just having fever dreams right now.
Okay.
Oh, I've had
Thanatos, if you set my ass on
Fever
fire,
dreams are weird, let me tell you.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the FFd6 recap for this week. Like I said, kind of a short session. Not much happened compared to other sessions. Largely because it was just, them clearing out a dungeon and grabbing some people.
But even though it was a short one, it was definitely a fun one. And a funny one.
I mean, it was only a third shot. So.
Yeah, it was only 1 hour less than normal, but still. I would have actually gone into more detail about the apothecary you all went to, because I actually had an idea in mind for her, but Tom wanted us to end off a little soon because he wanted to run to a store or something, so I didn't get a chance.
Yeah. Tiscos. Where they say every little helps. Not really, because you're not open for 24 hours anymore.
No, they opened it closed at 11, so I had to run.
Yep. They used to be open 24 hours, but something happened and they decided to change that now.
Well, I have no idea what Tiskel's is, so...
It's an okay supermarket of such.
Well, I mean, it's international, so it's a lot. It's in pretty much everywhere but America.
Right.
Yeah.
Not really
I'd say it's
international.
probably smaller than an actual supermarket because those things are massive.
Right. But, yeah. So that is our FFd6 recap. I'd go on about it some more, but there isn't really a whole lot more we can add, I don't think.
I
mean, it was adorable.
Say about it.
The debauchery was had. People died horribly.
Yeah.
It's one of the scenarios that could have happened when the time.
I've heard.
Probably when Vanatos wakes up, he's like, "Oh, what happened to you, Frey? We just been attacked while you were sleeping an extra few hours. It's completely fine. Everything's been dealt with."
Good. I mean, I can go back to sleep.
No, you won't.
Never. You can never go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Never again.
I'm really liking Thanatos' character, I will say that. I was kind of expecting him to be kind of like a brooding individual like Batman, but no, he's unique. He's his own.
He's definitely more lively than Batman and more daring.
I would say Batman would more pertain to maybe the master, my master, Thanatos's.
So does that make you Robin?
No.
Oh,
I prefer Nightwing
Damien,
over Robin.
What about Damien? That Robin was pretty dark, and he likes to wield a sword.
Well, you mean Edgy McEdison, who's just basically a mini Batman who kills people.
Wait, are we talking about Damien now?
Damian Wayne, yeah.
Oh, fuck that little shit.
I don't know nearly enough about Batman to contribute anything to this story.
He's Batman's illegitimate kid who is basically kind of acts like Batman, even in some media, like he gives that same "I know something you don't" kind of look to people.
So
except for he kills people, he kind of like Jason Todd in that way, and he's a little shit to Batman all the time. He's like a brat.
So yeah, he's the biological
Wasn't his father
son
a demon at one point? Thanks to Trigon.
No, he's the biological son of Batman and Talia al Ghul. Basically, Ra's said, "You know what? I can't convince the actual Batman to be my successor. Let's get the next best thing. Daughter, go get pregnant." Yeah, and Batman had no idea about Damien at all, considering she drugged him.
I think the most interesting Robin was the one later on when he was an old man. He had a female Robin at the time.
I remember one of the animated when he first turned up at Wayne Manor. He was being a right dick to Alfred, and then Alfred just put him down.
Shit.
I'm sorry, I must euthanize you. You are being far too big of a dick. Anyways.
Can't tell me what to do, Dad.
And you don't sass Alfred. He'll out-sass you every time.
Alfred. You don't sass.
He's the only person in all of DC who can successfully tell off Batman.
I told you should have put that clown down, you stupid boy. I just like that version of Alfred.
Put down the clown. You know what? There's got in my head.
I guess he has to be someone's reliability, and I guess he's Batman.
Hell, in the Injustice comics, he fucking punched out Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Batman versus Superman thing.
He took there was this in the Injustice universe. There's like this pill that they developed to try and combat Superman to make them have pseudo Kryptonian durability. Like Superman came to the Batcave, broke Batman's back, was about to kill him. Alfred just tapped him on the shoulder and told him to get the fuck away from his son, just punched him in the face, broke his nose, and knocked him out cold.
Way to go, Alfred!
Nah, that's the Alfred I like. A badass.
Not bad for no man. Jesus.
Don't mess with the British butler.
You better not get blood on my floor. I will not be impressed.
You'll bleed all over my nice floor.
He also used to be MI.
I just mocked that.
He's a badass butler in history.
I'm putting him on the list of badass butlers alongside Walter, Sebastian, and all the others. There's a shit ton.
Yes.
My goodness. I like a badass butler.
Later on in Justice, he was killed. He was killed by one of Batman's rogues gallery, though he put up quite a fight. But it was like revived as well. He came back to life.
Hallelujah.
How does that work?
No,
Like the Ra's al Ghul's pit. What?
Oh,
like
the Lazarus
Although,
pit, yeah.
when Jason came out of that, he went a little bit cuckoo. And it didn't
Well, the
work
whole
well.
point-
Alfred.
See,
was
you're all
meant
talking about Batman and Superman, and I have nothing to add. Because I'm more of a...
It's okay.
Because I know
I can
very
really hear
little
that.
about...
Back and
people anyway.
enjoy the show.
Well, when he came out, Alfred was alright mentally, though he lost a lot of his like motor functions. So he kind of, at the end of the comic, he decided to go on a trip to kind of recover what he'd lost.
The Lazarus
you
pit is a double-edged sword.
At any rate, shall we move on to
If you don't wanna-
a topic that doesn't require a previous understanding to grasp?
Why?
Fair
It's
enough,
actually really
yes.
fun.
I mean,
I was
yeah,
just going to suggest, if
I
you
mean-
do want to get into...
I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. All I know is it's Batman. That's it!
I mean, to be honest, most of the people in here who aren't in the D&D thing had no idea what we were talking about.
I mean, they've probably listened to the recaps of the past, so they have at least some understanding of what's going on. And I mean, the recap, and I mean, I'm more, and to be fair, I'm also kind of talking about just like the audience in general.
Yeah, true.
And I've had,
But anyway,
and I've included recaps for each of the previous sessions, so the audience is aware that that is a thing. They can keep up. When it comes to Batman, like, I mean, a lot of people know a lot about that, but not everyone, myself included, is going to be very.
No.
Well, if you don't want to get invested in the comics, the only adaptation I would suggest, as in actual, the Batman would be Batman the Animated Series, and that's it.
Well, I mean,
That's part. That's all part of the old DCAU, isn't it?
I mean, I personally, I watched the Dark Knight trilogy. I liked those.
Oh yeah, that was. I did like that. I say that would be the last good live action DC movies to come out in that time, because the rest have gone.
Yeah, no question. No.
There's no words I can
first-
express.
The first one was okay.
Anyways.
Hey, remember the bat nipples?
Oh god. I hated that one.
Anyways.
Basically,
Believe it or not, the main reason why I hate it is not that.
Stop.
No.
I'm just saying that
I
the
hate it
suits
for the
were
back
modeled
stars.
with nipples on them for some reason.
No, Tom.
Stop. We
Tom,
have
stop.
we have another topic.
We do?
Yes,
Yes.
Crow's in the spotlight.
Yeah, Crow suggested that he has a story he wants to tell about some sort of outdoor education class. He wants to tell us a story about that. So, Crow, take it away.
All right, ye Brits and non-Texan Americans.
Yep.
Can I grab my Mountain Dew?
Hey, I just had one. Nice.
Filthy Texan.
Hey!
Hey.
I may not be a Texan, but there's no need for that.
He's a friend of mine, okay?
So,
I'm an Oklahoman. I'm allowed to.
let me take you to the yesterday years of 2011, 2012, when I was in high school.
You do realize, even if it's spelt ye, it's still pronounced thee, right? Because that's how old-time letters worked.
Good night.
Why was a TH sound?
When I was a wee,
This is in slang, not old timer.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so in my outdoor education class, first still, I had a teacher, because I took the class twice. Each one advancing in studies and all that for Dell. But the first year, so the guy, my teacher, he would bring, he would show us, teach us gun safety, and to do that, he'd bring, he'd bring a hunting rifle, and he'd also bring, guns, and he'll show us how to use and wield them. But he would,
Definitely
but he was
Texas.
smart. Okay. he never brought ammo, and he never brought guns at the same time, and he never brought ammo for the same kind of gun that he would bring the next session. So he was pretty smart. He'd been doing it for years.
At
But
he's smart like that, didn't you?
Oh, you see, the reason why he's doing it, though, he taught us gun safety, and not. It was more of. It was a difference between, because there's a difference between, teaching how to shoot somebody and teaching someone how not to shoot their own foot off. And
Yeah.
I will kill you with my mighty gun.
Bring it off the trigger,
fuck, my
dipshits.
so yeah, there's also knowing how to properly hold a gun and hold it correctly and not the wrong way is, I think, very valuable information, especially if you're going hunting or need to defend yourself, which is the main reason why he was teaching it. He would also bring because in the class he would also teach fishing laws, fishing regulations, hunting laws, hunting regulations, seasonal shifting, and all that. So in context, him bringing the gun. No, he couldn't publicly, walk to school with the gun, so he always had to wrap the thing with cloth and all that.
Oh, that makes sense.
So that's why if you catch him in the hallway, you'd see him holding just a bundle of cloth, and he just, he's always friendly and say hi. It's just, but yeah, and then other times he would bring ammo but no guns to the school, and he would only bring like a small handful, but he would show you how each bullet, how the bullets work,
bullets, shells, all that stuff, I guess.
Yeah. And he would make sure nobody could try to steal anything, because I had one guy who was an idiot who tried. There's always that one idiot who tries. And no, he bopped him in the back of the head and took it. He's like, no.
Boy!
Sit your ass back down.
He goes, that is not why I brought that to school. No, you don't get to keep it.
Watch yourself, boy.
Okay,
this is lucky it ain't Kratos there. Boy!
Boy!
And for me, that class was probably my favorite in the school, because I had to do very little writing in that class, which was at the time a relief, considering everything else is swamping me with
lucky bugger.
work and work and work.
I was overworked in my country.
And then and so it went on, and he did that for he'd been doing it for years, and he knew the proper safety, making sure everything was and I can proudly say that in both the decade before and the years up to even now, there has not been a single shooting. So, and anywhere.
That is a statistical miracle. That is.
It's about the same in Baltimore here, but
No school shootings happened. I can guarantee you that. No, none of that, because
no school shootings.
Not here.
the St. Florida has some problems, so.
But yeah, there's a lot of. I remember it fondly because it was very valuable information for me at the time, especially for people who want to go hunting and stuff like that. It was pretty fun. He was pretty smart in how he did it. And then next year I had a different teacher, and she taught me archery.
Oh, nice.
Actually,
and so the entire class would go outside, and she would give us compound bow. Take a compound bow, and there was a target set about 100, 150 yards or so. And she goes, "Okay, everyone gets 3 shots, and then you then you hand the bow off, and then the next person gets 3 shots." And then they would do this several times in the course of the week. And unfortunately, I was not Robin Hood.
Nobody ever is. Nobody ever is.
I say I'm a decent shot, a pretty good shot with a bow, which surprised me when I used one for the first time. I guess that's all the times watching Robin Hood or anything that involves a bow and arrow. Just watched and learned.
Either that or you just caught on quick to how it worked.
Probably that. It'd be the latter.
I will say I wasn't the worst in my class. I was not the worst in my class. Thank God.
Who was this?
You're only second worst.
This one... the worst was this one...
Notice how he dodged. Notice how he dodged. Sorry, carry on.
Dodge.
The worst was this one chick who literally could not hit the target for the life of her. Thankfully, nobody has ever had any injuries, well, at least not during my classes that I'm aware of. But,
The true question was the arrows sharp tip or were they like soft? Sorry.
They were blunt tipped.
Good.
They were blunt tipped. Yeah, but they can still hurt as fuck if you get hit by one.
Yeah,
well, at least they won't pierce your
you
skinnies.
regardless.
But
I mean, it being blunt would probably decrease the chance of it actually causing you a fatal hit, depending on where the arrow actually hits you. But it would still hurt like a bastard.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why the teacher says, don't walk in front of people who are trying to shoot.
Or even idiots who want to do bow and arrow roulette. It's like Russian roulette, except you shoot an arrow in the bloody air, which is the most stupidest thing you could ever do, because you never know where it's going to land.
She wasn't simply a bad shot simply because she missed. She was a bad shot because we'd have to actually spend like half the class looking for the arrows after she shot them.
Because she missed.
Yeah, I think like halfway through the semester, I think the teacher just finally decided, yeah, you sit out this time.
Clearly, you can't hit shit.
Was she cross-eyed?
Oh, goodness.
I said, was she cross-eyed?
You have to ask that.
Yes, I had to.
Sorry about that. My phone I got disconnected.
That's okay.
No, she was more of one of those prissy cheerleader types, which is why it was kind of funny.
That's
an
just
interesting
sad.
hobby.
Because cheerleaders tend to have a lot of coordination.
I know, that's the thing.
That's why I think it's so interesting to give it to her.
Maybe it's
her boyfriend is a better shot.
Maybe it's just like her hand-eye coordination of just what she's feeling, but like she's not good at projecting arcs in her mind or something.
I guess, or she's just not good at pulling back the bow. I don't know. But yeah, my outdoor education classes, we definitely had some experiences there.
Indeed.
Is that sorry, I'm tired. I got up early today. Is that everything you have for that topic?
Currently, yes.
All right.
Well, then.
Well, we're on to improv then. I have no other pre-planned topics to roll with, so we're just going to have to make the rest of this episode up as we're going.
We have
I was going to step in and say something.
I have like a similar deal, but I've because I was in like Boy Scouts for a little while in my life, so I know how to light a fire properly. I know how to whittle and wood carve and shit like that. So
I was in Boy Scouts once. The only thing I was truly good at was selling popcorn.
I was,
did a bit
I
of
was
scout.
never in anything like that, nor was I ever really in any high school clubs, because none of them interested me. Like me and a few friends once tried to get a D&D club started, but we were never able to.
Oh,
That's a shame.
Sucks.
I mean, granted, like we were halfway through the process when I wound up suffering my expulsion. So,
damn.
yeah.
Well, I was in the scouts a bit, but meh. I prefer my own techniques. But yeah.
Yeah, I was terrible at rope tying. I was terrible at it. I could never do it. They're like, here's the instructions. I'm like, it looks like gibberish.
I mean, you see, it helps if you know how to read. That's generally step one. Step two is then applying that knowledge and actually reading what's in front of you. Step three is converting what you have read into information and storing it in your brain. Step four is using that information.
Well, it would also help if they were more detailed when I was reading the book.
Did it come with illustrations?
In the back.
Fucking Texas. Yes, I know I'm a hypocrite. Laugh it up.
Granted, I'm pretty sure it's updated by now because that was like years ago, but
years ago.
I would be surprised if it were.
back.
I would genuinely be surprised if it were updated. So
a lot of things have changed late in the past few years. So
wait, what the hell?
What?
Nothing. I saw something I'm gonna have to look at when we're done here. I've got my web browser open as we're doing this. Just keeping my eyes open for interesting stuff because we're out of pre-planned topics.
Well, I have got something.
Hey, look at this. It is a story by David Silver called Sadia, Cheesy Issues. And the description reads, Starlight notices Twilight's fear of a particular style of grilled cheese snack and decides this is a problem she can solve. What could go wrong?
So much.
I still
Everything.
genuinely want to know why Twilight is so afraid of quesadillas. I think it's more accurate that she's generally just afraid of cheese itself.
Maybe when she was young, she just ate a bad quesadilla and it gave her diarrhea.
Didn't you have a story idea about her going to like a cheese factory when she was young?
Yeah, there's an idiocy-verse story idea that I have in my head where like she's on a field trip for Celestia's school and they go to a cheese factory just to kind of look at all the intricacies of the machines and how it works. And while she's there, maybe one of the other foals is a stupid bully and decides it would be funny to push her into a vat of cheese, and she gets stuck in there for a few hours because everyone else didn't notice that she was missing because she's usually quiet as fuck. So she
could have been that. Or Scooby-Doo cheese monster comes out, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, this cheese is like molten hot at this point, isn't it?
Yeah,
or at least like really warm.
It's really warm. But I mean, like molten cheese isn't like going to be enough to kill you or even hurt you, but it will be enough to stick to your fur and slow you down.
There's
gonna leave some burns.
purple fur in my
slight
cheese.
ones.
Yeah, it's like
cheese.
someone's walking by, they hear dong 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 on the side of the cheese vat. Looks in, there's just this poor little filly covered head to hoof in cheese, wide eyes, irritated from all the stickiness, tears sliding down, and she's like, "Help me!" And she's pounding on the side of the thing, just dong 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 dong.
And Celestia walks in. Yeah, that one's mine.
The construction, the factory worker's like, "What the hell?" Celestia walks in. "Oh, I'm sorry, that's mine." Just picks Twilight up with magic, cleans her off. It's like, "You all right? It's so cheesy."
Yeah.
What?
And we'll have a cheese pizza with a side order of purple fur.
And then they just fucking leave. And then they just leave.
Yeah, I'll just take that one to go.
You know, at some point in the Little Flasher series, I'm going to have to address Twilight's fear of cheese. Actually, going into spoiler territory for story 4 of the Little Flasher series here, real quick. So,
she doesn't have any memories in that story.
That's what I mean. That's the spoiler thingy. Twilight's an
Then why
amnesia story for. And here's the
If
thing.
she loses all her memories.
Like, it happens in story 3. But anyways, she like, I'm totally imagining Twilight like ordering something that has cheese in it, and Spike and Rainbow Dash just looking at her like, wait, what? Are you high? like they just can't wrap their head around the fact that Twilight has decided to order a meal that comes with cheese, and she's like,
I'll have it eat a quesadilla.
Oh, God, yeah.
like she's like,
Oh my.
yeah, like she's just eating it, looks and like, what? You're eating a quesadilla? Yeah, it's good. Why? Dude,
You're scared of quesadilla.
I am? Why? You never talked about it.
You never talk.
You just got this really distant look in your eye, and you never said a word. Weird.
So much cheese.
Well, I hope I never remember why, because this tastes really freaking good. That's
God.
one memory she hopes she never gets back, because she wants to keep eating quesadillas.
Quesadilla.
Don't let me eat pears.
I am totally doing that at some point in Little Memories, then.
Well, let's see. We have about 12 minutes.
Ooh. Hey, on a completely kind of unrelated topic, but still kind of relevant a little bit. Tone, for Doctor Who's Legacy, will we ever get a moment with your Doctor and Pears?
I honestly haven't given that much thought. Probably not. It doesn't seem super relevant.
I don't know why I'm imagining the 11th one has Bez on his head.
It's something he would do.
Bez is a cool.
Well, it's Legacy, so maybe Legacy likes Bears.
Just to
Would he like a Fez?
Just to, he would not like a fez. He's a bit too self-serious for that. He does like his vest and scarf, though.
I was on about the 11th, but fair enough.
Yeah. You know, I suppose I might as well actually give a bit of a status update on that, since, you know, it's been a while since I've talked about Living Legacy. Some progress is being made on episode 2. Fucking finally. We've got someone cast to voice one of the characters who, sadly, we had to recast that character.
Who was that again?
A character named Vale. I won't go into many details because spoilers.
No, the character.
Spoilers, darling.
That is the name of the character. The name's character is Vale.
Oh, I thought you meant the
Vale.
Yeah.
No, the actor was initially going to be Izzy Fizzy, but due to some issues beyond her control, we've had to switch it to someone who goes by MLP Star Swirl. Just waiting on her to send in her lines. And since that has finally been cast and those lines are now on the way, we've begun the process of trying to figure out who's going to voice the 11th Doctor. Speaking of, Tom, you need to cast your vote on that in the developers chat at some point.
Yes, I will look at that later on tonight.
So yeah, there's that. Who the hell is breathing so heavily into their mic?
I think it's lightning.
Who wants to hear?
I think it's Crow.
A little story for.
Huh.
I think there's enough time for it.
What story?
The Revenge of the Cursed.
The Revenge of the Cursed what?
Of the Cursed Ben.
Ah. More Ben stories!
It's gonna call it Alexandria. Alexandria.
Gather,
for short.
Gather round, kiddies. Uncle Darkness has a Ben story for you. Do we have to?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
sit
not
down.
Ben this time. It's Alex this time.
No, it's that one guy who was constantly trying to have a
The
sword.
Revenge of Lord Timaeus Alexandria. I'm not known him by his other name, the Ship Lord. God damn it.
Yeah,
why is it be so knightly about it?
I mean,
leave the knights alone.
I mean, here's the thing. The Ship Lord, that's Princess Cadence. This guy's a pretender.
She
I
has
would say this guy is also more out of control because he tries to ship everything. Oh my goodness. But before we get to the story when he brought up a fucked up list of things to ship me with, it's this one when I came across him a second time, which I thought I wouldn't gonna see him ever again. But it appears he is fucking persistent.
Shipping is everywhere.
All right. I have a solution for you. Show them a picture of me and say, try to ship this.
We'll succeed.
Please don't give him
I
ideas.
mean, do you see the answer you'd come up with?
Don't need this. No ideas for him. But anyway, I was just having a wonderful day wandering about town. I got a game that I want, but then on my way home, I heard a very formal, loud voice coming from behind me. I was like, no fucking way. FFd, bastard Brit. Oh, fucking hell.
Bastard Brit.
Oh yeah, we like.
Why did I never think of that?
Because you are a bastard.
But I'm not a Brit. But I'm not a Brit, and 3 of my friends are Brits.
We Brits really like our swear words, and we can get quite creative with them.
But wait. Sorry, that's the thing. If he called you a bastard Brit, isn't he British too?
I mean,
That's what I pointed out.
So he was insulting himself too. It's like, you bastard Brit, you're a Brit. Fuck.
we don't care. We keep calm. Carry on.
You do realize you insulted not just me, but yourself, right?
We should put that in.
Did he say I'm not British, I'm shippish?
Oh God.
Yes.
Why? Why, Tone? Why?
I don't understand.
None of us do. None of us do. Did he challenge you to another duel in front of everyone?
Oh, he freaking did.
Did you tell him no, like a reasonable human being?
Listen, buddy. The answer is no. You have insulted my honor. I just kicked you in the crotch. How is that insulting your honor? That's just a hint. Keep the fuck away from me. You have hit my sacred area, and you must pay.
Sacred area.
Oh, for goodness sake.
What? See,
Did you not simply kick a gentleman in his sacred area?
See, the more I hear of this person, the more I find it hard to believe that he's real, but I don't care. It's fucking hilarious. Keep going.
I mean,
But of course he won't take no for an answer.
So I'm not gonna do this.
But I was in no mood for him. But I thought to myself, would there be a chance he'd block the same move I did on him last time? Because I just wanted to get home and play my bloody game. I did not care for him. So I managed to get in close proximity of him. I went for the kick, and then I heard a tonk, and I swear something cracked, and my fucking foot was in complete agonized pain like I've never felt before. Like, what the fuck just happened?
All of you, I have leveled up since we last met.
Behold, my weak spot is an
I have a
impenetrable...
quick crotch armor.
While you were playing video games, I was grinding my experience points by pestering people in the streets about shipping.
I have been kicking the ball so many times I've developed resilience.
I think that's what happened to me.
There's not much left down. There's not much left down.
Steel.
There's not much left actually down there now. But that's just part of the resilience.
Oh my god. So yeah.
That's why I wear steel-toed shoes.
Okay, so you
But
can't
as
kick
he
him in the
said-
crotch. Did you kick him in the anus
Nah,
instead?
Because as he said, behold, my weakness is now an impenetrable fortress. How the fuck does that work? Simple. Have you ever heard of a sacred site known as eBay? Are you shitting me? Got a
That laugh.
That laugh, though.
In the background, that laugh.
That laugh makes it just...
That too.
Site known as eBay.
Fucking eBay!
I now remember why I fucking hate eBay.
eBay, your nemesis.
Was my laugh really that good?
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
It nearly
Fuck
choked me
you.
to death.
Carry
my.
on. As you were.
I will. I dared to question him, despite I was in agonizing pain, and well, I said, "Please say you ain't gonna go into too much bloody detail about it." It all started, and he just fucking ignores me when I'm in pain. I was seeking a way to better myself, to improve on this unholy weakness, and then I found it.
eBay!
Although I never understand the currency of dollars, but I got it anyway. Wait, what? You got it from... Oh.
He got it from
I
America.
admit-
That's where he fucked up, son. He's gonna get an STD.
Price lied to me. It was not 135. Okay. Nor was it 178 because of the post and packaging. It actually cost me over 200. But it does not matter. It means my sacred area is 200 times stronger. That's not how it works. And I'm just fucking hopping on one foot as the other one's in fucking agony. I don't care. I don't even care how much you spent on that. I'm heading home with a broken foot to play my fucking game. So please, if you have any decency, any understanding what I'm saying to you, fuck off.
If you are so knightly as you claim, then know that your presence is unwelcome now, and you may stop, because otherwise you're just being a cunt.
I'm just being a daft cunt.
Yeah, you see, he's not doing the knightly thing to do. Knights have this thing called chivalry, which is not to hassle a man.
But
Chivalry
he's
is
being
dead.
a hassler.
Yeah.
But of course he would not leave me alone. So
did you kick him in the anus instead?
Yeah.
Well, my good kicking foot is down. If I tried to kick him with my other foot, I'd be down on the floor.
Okay, so do that thing that happened in that one gif where you just shove your thumbs up there so hard he goes skyward.
And then he got out the bloody wooden sword again. Now, fight me. Fuck's sake. Listen, if I fight you, and if I prevail, would you then leave me alone?
Until the end of
It
time
depends.
itself.
No depends. We make a deal. Because this is my demand. Demands? Yes, demands, dickhead. I win, you fuck off. And if I win, we shall fight for all time. Why? Because we are nemesis. But also, you would make a great adversary and be helpful for my form of training. For only you can do such a dishonorable move to my sacred crutch. Oh, God.
His crotch is... Why is his crotch sacred? Did Jesus come from that or something? If so, I kind of want to kick it now.
Let's just get this over with. I got a game to play.
Did you kick his
Such
ass?
things will what the mind. You know what else will what the mind? You looking up shipping all day long. I mean, no offense, man, but you have some issues. I am perfectly fine. Fuck you.
No.
Oh, that was so nighty. You're not.
So, did you kick his ass?
That's Z. Oh, goodness me. So, doing it on one foot was bloody painful, but what he didn't expect me to do was to roll with the pain. I have to keep my damaged foot on the ground just to keep my balance, because bloody hell. Spite he had a wooden sword as well, he also tried to kick me a few times and do other things. So, it's not just a battle of the swords, it seems.
Breaking the rules. Dirty fighting. Dishonorable swine.
Yep. You are the most dishonorable prick of a knight I have ever met. And I'm going to end this as quick as possible so I can get home.
So luckily, I managed to dodge most of his attacks and counter most and parry, and hit him in other areas such as the back of the legs and also by his hands and arms just to weaken him.
Please
As
tell
for
me you-
him, he
tell-
tried to hit me in the head and other places.
Anyway, you should probably speed it up because we're at the hour mark. It's getting closer to us to end.
Well, this is how it ends. He was about to finish me off with some weird fucking form of a show-off move until I just went smack on his head. He's like,
This is why you don't
"You
show
think
up.
a simple blow to the head will take me down? Wait a moment. I don't feel too good." You're serious?
I mean, I used to know a guy who went around in a suit with a cane and rode around in a horse-drawn carriage, but I've never had this happen to me.
The long story short, he was passed out for a while. I walked home with an injured foot, walked in, and about to play my game. And of course, one question did throw my way. What the heck happened to your foot? I don't want to talk about it.
But you want to talk about it with all of us.
Yep.
The glory of Jibber Jabber.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. Well, on that, with the end of that amazing story, it is time for us to end this episode of Jibber Jabber. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next week, hopefully. Keep listening, people. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
I miss Ben.